Hello guys, Gladiator Bricks here. I'm going to go through some of my customs. I'm also going to look through a box of custom parts I got in my that I got in the mail. So this is for Brick Tactical. I'm also going to show my little custom Warhammer 40k Ogerin figure. I had to modify a gun to fit his hand, but I love this gun detail and I love how it turned out. How cool it looks in his hand. I also had to use a bootleg Hulk figure to paint over it to make the Ogerin, which I didn't want to ruin a perfectly good Hulk figure to make. So I used a bootleg to make this guy. So he's kind of a custom Ogerin figure. I went ahead and drew in a little mark on his shoulder to kind of signify what he is. He's basically part of a guardsman unit. Anyways, let's open up the package I got in the mail. Because I don't even know what I got. Even though I wasn't planning on saving the box anyways. They sent me a little thing, probably a sticker. They sent me a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of minifigure heads. All right. Well, might as well look at all the minifigure heads that came in the bag. They also sent me some custom weapons. They sent me a few trench coats too. Interesting. So they sent me some trench coats, camouflaged ones and normal black ones. Some minifigure torsos. Wounded soldier torso. I'm gonna need that for a stop motion. Bunch of new female heads. Weird looking little female heads, but they're very nice looking. And of course, two more female torsos. It's cool. Plus some military female ones by the looks of it, which are pretty cool. They also sent me, I think, a glow-in-the-dark bazooka from the Clone Wars, and a Stormtrooper blaster rifle, pair of pajama pants. Okay, things are getting interesting. Let's get on to our next part of our stream. We might as well start showing the rest of my custom minifigures. I'm gonna remove the stuff out of the way. Whoa! Actually, they sent me two black trench coats. What do you know? This is gonna be interesting for making customs. I'm going to show mostly my Warhammer customs. Here's my custom Mechanicus minifigure. The Mechanicus are an enemy a member of the Imperium from Warhammer 40k. Yeah, the Mechanicus are a faction from Warhammer 40k who basically are obsessed with machinery. I call them tech gremlins because literally that's what they are. Let's go on to the next figure. Bunch of figures. I also made some Deathcore Krieg minifigures. They're also very nice looking. My Guardsmen faction have gotten better in detail as well. Of course, with the new minifigure heads, I also have some other stuff too. I got from tactical, I wound up with some Marines armor from Halo. So now I've been able to make Halo-style Marines as custom minifigures. That's one figure I'm actually kind of happy about. Oh boy. Hello, Caleb. Welcome to the stream. Anyways, this is my custom Ogryn right here, like I said. He's got some little details, like a little bit of a scar on his shoulder, a really big gun, plus a couple of pouches on his belt, and kind of a few right here to signify extra rounds. This is a Mechanicus, Deathcore of Krieg, and Guardsman. And Kikachin Jungle Fighter. I might have to remind me to go smack somebody upside the head later. I mean, really. Yeah, it's kind of a... Actually, that's mostly a symbol of the Imperium. If you're wanting an Ultramarine, I got an Ultramarine custom as well. Space Wolf. Space Wolves. Ultramarine. Well, Ogryns are pretty cool. They're a faction of just soldiers who fight alongside the Imperial Guard. In fact, Ogryns are pretty impressive as a guardsman, because they're the only unit that's a lot like the Orcs, because their intelligence is about like the Orcs, only better. If there's a bully, it's an Ogryn's job to stop them. They're like Gomer Pyle. And then we got a Sister of Battle right here as well. All right. Now, I'm going to remove all the Warhammer. We also got an Ultramarine. A little poofy Ultramarine. And if you start saying heresy, I will smack you upside the head, Mr. Ultramarine. If you start yelling heresy at the top of your lungs, I will smack you upside the head and feed you to the Tyranids. How's the Ultramarine? Yeah. All right, here's my armored. Man, I wish she would just go outside. My word. I'll remove all the custom Warhammer figures so I can go on to some other customs. Because this is a custom stream for all customs. I have to bring out all custom minifigures. Now we went from good to really bad. We're going down the path of really bad customs. Oh boy, people. This is the Cursed Realm. The next one is the Cursed minifigures. Really cursed. Incredibly cursed minifigures coming up. So for those of you who can't stand cursed minifigures that look horrifying, that are terrible, that are horrible, that will drive you insane just by looking at them, please cover your eyes now. And remember, it's just a minifigure. It's just a Lego minifigure. It ain't horrifyingly obvious. I'm going to close my own eyes. I don't even want to see these. As you can see, they have new kinds of faces. These are faces I bought from Brick Tactical. They are horrifyingly, obviously bad. Because they look like little anime faces. Yeah, gross. Oh, I'm touching it. Ugh. Okay. What's the... Hi! What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Caleb? What do you mean? Yeah, I have more minifigure heads that are terrible. These are the cursed minifigure heads I have picked up from Brick Tactical. Ugh. I think I'm going to be sick. I am sick. Just seeing those horrible things have caused me. Speak English, boy. I don't even understand what you're saying. I wonder how bad I could make a character look just by adding these terrible looking. Oh, there's another figure. I bought this from another company. I don't know what it's called, but I'm going to put them in here. Here he is. I don't know what this is based off of, but he's probably the coolest looking soldier I've seen. Give me a second. The effect of the light for an extra cool effect. I don't even know who this is. But there needed to be a light effect. Oh, so you bought guardsman models. Okay. It is Dead Space. It's a Dead Space custom minifigure. Now, if only I had Doomslayer, this would be the perfect. He would be the perfect. What's it called? He'd be the perfect sidekick for Doomslayer. Rip and tear. I'll get out my guardsman unit. Cadian Guard. Pity the guardsman. A coward. A pitiful sack of flesh. Armed with weapons that are only good in numbers. You kidding me? The best guardsman in the Warhammer 40k universe is about to be put down in front of you. The Death Corps of Krieg. Unless you count the Ogrins, then you pretty much got the best guardsman in the world, in the whole entire universe. I'm going to give these guys a kind of the flashlight treatment for a little bit of a spotlight effect. There we go. Yeah, lighting in here ain't the best. My lighting in here needs work. Cadia fell before the guard did. Cadia broke before the guard did. That's the truth. They're probably my second favorite unit, actually. Cadia broke before the guard broke. Their guard didn't fall. It was the Cadian people, or I don't know. I know the Cadian Guard are still around. They're just on different I just found it I just made this figure look even worse than she already was. Look at that face. Look at the face. This is the face of a killer. A murderous, psychopathic female. Ugh. I just had to make the witch even more horrifying. Then again, I got better torso. Here's one of my favorite torsos I've picked up so far from Brick Tactical. It's kind of it's a wounded torso, has bandages covered in blood, and I like that detail. I've had similar torsos to this one where they had like wounds. Here's one. But this looks better than that. I can't wait to make a wounded soldier for stop motion. Of course, we have a Katachan jungle fighter. The little soldier that can literally smack down a whole army of orcs in one battle and literally shrug off bolts from bolt guns like they're nothing. They could shrug off shots from a holy bolter just by flexing their muscles. Weird faction. Talk about your weird what in tarnation? Human. What are you, an orc? Are you an orc by any chance? Because you're saying human tastes delicious. What are you, an orc? A cannibal? I believe that is heresy. I believe you are talking heresy. That's heresy, human. The Emperor is not pleased with that remark. Call in old Baeli. We need him to take on the orcs again. Oh, I just remembered. Old Baeli, the orcs literally worship that character. They are obsessed with him as an enemy. They want to fight him non-stop. About half of them even dream of old Baeli killing them. Now here's another one. We got a saint. Saint Weirdo with wings. Saint Weirdo with wings, I think, is what her name is. I don't know. I don't know too much Warhammer lore. We'll kind of shine the light on her again. Saint something. Was it Saint Celestine or Celestine? I forget. You will subscribe. The orcs will fall. Cadia will stand. In the name of Cadia, we will continue to, because Cadia broke before the guard did. We, the Cadian guard, still survive. Who knows? I don't even know. Saint Celestine. Saint Locke. I don't think the orcs actually find her as an enemy. I don't think the orcs actually want to fight her. I think they're more of the lines of they see her as another. I don't know. I never really saw anything involving the Sisters of Battle fighting orcs, which is surprising because they're a very impressive unit of enemies. Who knows? All I know is they stopped. All they fight is mostly stuff involving the human protecting humanity, but you would think they would consider orcs. Red uns go faster. What? We got a crazy person in chat. Do you have to make references to the orcs every few seconds? You do know that there's a unit that specializes in hunting just orcs, right? It's literally that's literally what the there's millions of corps that specialize in hunting orcs. Just saying. There's also corps that specialize in hunting humans too, but I'm not going to. What orcs? Now we'll start. I'm going to start bringing out my chaos, my monster armies, little by little. First of all, the heavy hitters, the ones that are supposed to deal the heaviest damage. My rock monster army. Well, my rock monster behemoths. This is the first attack. This is the backline attackers. These monsters will be sent in to cover the retreat of other monsters of weaker opponents. This will be to prevent the enemy from counterattacking and killing soldiers as they retreat. These monsters' last line are the last line of defense and are incredibly hard to kill because of their size and because they're made out of stone. They can be repaired with just about anything involving cement. Sadly, impossible to kill these things unless you take a nuke and blow them out of orbit. Blow them up using it as an orbital cannon. In the monster armies, there are millions of monsters that you got to worry about. Now, goblins are not rare in the monster army, but they are kind of getting rare because of how many tasks they're asked to do. Goblins and kobolds are mostly just, well, they're used as mostly cannon fodder and servants. No offense, but the big orky dudes, an actual super orc comes to about this size in diameter next to one of these rock monsters. Well, a cave troll comes to twice the size of an orc. But they are also used as creatures of burden. Therefore, they're another weaker species that are also used as cannon fodder for the grindstone. Sadly, the monster armies consist of so many generals and so many monsters. You got mostly, and you always will have. I'm going to bring out some of the leaders of the monster armies now. For now, I'm going to bring out. Actually, should I start with the armies of monsters, or should I go with the leaders? Should the leaders come next, or should it be nothing but the soldiers? Pick in the chat. Monsters or the leaders of these monsters? No, the orcs would be characterized in the monster armies. They're mostly not in leadership roles. Though there is one orc in leadership, but she is literally just leadership. Like, the orcs were like, you know what, let's put her in charge because she's the weakest, she's the most likely to die in the battlefield if we put her on the front lines. We'll let her be leader for now. Then when she fails, we have somebody to torture for for failing. Yeah, the orcs in my universe are a lot more brutal than most orcs in most franchises, though they're kind of a mix between Warhammer 40k orcs and the orcs of several other worlds. Anyways, I'm going to get out. I'm going to get out the goblins first. Goblins. Interesting fact. More than once, there's been goblins found in stew pots of the orcs, even though they are allies. The orcs are known for cooking goblins, even though they are allies. Why? Because the orcs are monsters. Are literally, they don't believe in the idea of letting a weak minion survive. So goblins will always be basically used as mostly cannon fodder and entertainment. Who knows? I really don't know. This ain't Warhammer lore anyways. I'm using my own lore as a joke. Half the monster army is made out of crazy ways of doing stuff. There's also Kobolds, which are basically just these little guys. They're a little bit like goblins, only they're poisonous to eat, so the orcs don't cook them, sadly. Which is sad because they do have a taste. They are tasty. The problem is it's deadly to eat them. You die almost 3 seconds after eating them. That's why orcs don't cook them. Because the orcs are smart enough not to cook a random. They just don't want to cook something that's going to kill them as soon as they eat it. Well, hello, Karma Bricks Creations. Welcome to the stream. Runty gets... Oh, Runty. I don't get it. Anyways, we're going to go on to the next monster. Species that's in here. Oh, boy. Now we're on to more cannon fodder. Even though they are not really cannon fodder. They're mostly just more monsters. Oh boy. The rock monsters. Capable of killing at least 3 or 4 humans on the battlefield easily with their bare hands. These things are very deadly. They have been recorded surviving explosives that should have completely obliterated them. What's BINS? I'm confused. Guys, you might want to explain what you mean by that. Do you mean, I don't know. Could you guys get along and just learn to get along? I mean, don't start a fight between each other. Oh, trash bins. Okay. So you hate trash bins. Well, I understand the hate for trash bins. They sometimes smell bad. I mean, why would he hate? Why would it be why? I mean, it's not bad to hate a trash bin. I don't even know why I'm trying to explain that. Oh boy. Be a lot easier just to show the orcs now. The problem is I have so many types of orcs, I don't even know which one to show. You know what? I'm just going to put them down as several different species. Because I got too many types. Okay. First of all, we'll start with the gob orcs. The gob orcs are half goblin, half orcs. Don't ask. Even the orcs are confused by their appearance and have been known for killing killing them on sight sometimes. So Yeah, it's rare to see a gob orc in the battlefield. If you see one, congratulations. You're one of three other guys who might have seen one. So, yeah. Normal orc. Now, this is probably the ones you guys are familiar with. These orcs are known for taking up most the brunt of the war. As humanity is still fighting these things, humanity has been fighting them for over 300 years. Guardsmen and Halo troopers alike have fought these guys. And it's still a problem to this day because they're still a threat to humanity. All right, next orc. I don't even know what to call this orc species. Big jaw orcs, yeah. Big jaw orc. Or, yeah, redneck orc. The redneck orc, yes. The redneck orcs are starting to be a new threat on the battlefield with the orcs. They're the only orcs known to carry a shotgun in their hand and drink whiskey by the gallon. They're always drunk and always out of their minds. Word of advice, do not get on the bad side of a redneck orc. Why did I even start? Why is that a thing? Why did I have to do that? Oh man, that's bad. Okay, next up, orcs. Oh boy. Female orcs. Oh boy. There are only 2 female orcs in existence, sadly, and they're both generals. The thing is, the army has been trying to kill them for months, sending and throwing everything they can to kill these monsters. If they are captured, the war could be over because the orcs would basically give about $500,000 just to get them back. You know what? Die! Now the orcs are dead. Yes, I killed them. Not really. Shoot. 2 female orcs in the whole world. And they're pretty much. The thing is, they're the old. Oh wait, there's also the crazy the ponytail orcs. They ride giant dire wolves into battle. They ride dire wolves into battle. Usually they're armed with the best kind of weapons, the best kind of tactics, and the best kind of armor, depending on if they wear armor. Sometimes they don't even wear clothes. Excuse me, how in the world? You do know orcs in Warhammer 40k come out of literally are born out of they are not born like humans. They literally just appear out of holes in the ground, right? Oh well. They will soon be extinct. Why? Are you going to start a war against the orcs too? That would be a good idea. Who wants to start a war against the orcs? Alongside the gladiator army. Help us defeat these monsters before it's too late. Help humanity survive this horrible war. You do know that there's probably millions of other female type creatures, right? Orcs are born out of fungus type substances. Like they literally, oh boy, it's hard to explain. You'd have to read Warhammer lore. Let's go with the Warhammer lore on that part of the orc. Anyways, we got next up the purple orcs, or as some people call them, the bone boys. I mean, the bone crawlers. Yeah, the bone crawlers. These guys are known for making all of their equipment out of bones, including their weaponry. They make their weaponry out of bones. They make their armor out of bones. They even make their helmets out of bones. Sadly, there's only a few in existence. Anyways, yeah, there's a whole army of these guys. And these are the ones that most likely you have seen at least once in the battlefield. The only reason you've seen them is because the orcs send them in first. Because the orcs want them dead so badly so they can eat them. Because the orcs literally will put what's left of them in a stew pot. Because the orcs like to eat them. They're delicious to the orcs. To an orc, they're delicious. Yes, orcs are cannibals. The orcs of Warhammer of our universe, of the Gladiator universe, are literal cannibals. They eat even their own. That would eat even their own brother, if they tasted good. Of course, now we go on to the Red Orcs. Oh boy, this is a unit that kind of has given the Gladiator army so much trouble because unlike the other orcs who have bigger numbers, these guys are even harder to kill than your average orc. They're known for even their children fight in the war, which is scary. And what's even worse, they get their numbers up pretty quickly because of one reason, which I'm going to put that reason down in front of you now. Take a good long look and you can guess why. Orcs. And of course, they're giant orcs in their ranks as well, just like the other orcs. These guys are even more violent and mild, and they enjoy causing chaos and killing heroes. Okay, see you later, Karma Bricks Creations. Sorry I bored you so bad. Well, maybe I should end the stream. Doesn't look like I'm getting any interest. I guess I'm losing people in the stream already. You know what? I'm starting to get bored of my own story. You know what? I'm not even going to put these guys in there. Snake. There are several other units. There's the Snake Warriors as well. Let's get these guys out of the way. So many orcs. We'll take it easy. I know. They have massive jawlines. That's why they're called the inbreds, is it? For good reason. They look like they've been doing it too much. And of course, the giant orcs. They stand pretty tall compared to your average orc. They're also known for being more brutal and more violent than a normal orc. Up to a normal guardsman, which I'm going to get out a guardsman for size comparison. Your average guardsman would be like a shrimp up to these guys. Oh, wait. Guardswoman, I mean. Guardsman or guardswoman. Apologies, miss. I didn't realize you were female until I put you down there. Whoops. Anyways, yeah, there's the thing about them is though, whenever these guys are put in the battlefield, the other orcs are horrified that they're going to die in the battlefield because these guys will attack their own kind mindlessly because they don't know who the enemy really is. So they have to literally be told by the mother figures in their life where the enemy is, and they have to be directed in the right direction to be able to be used in the battlefield. That's why every time these guys are brought into the battlefield, the orc queen literally runs just to check on her team on making sure these guys won't kill their own teammates. Oh boy. And then that fact, now you know why it's very dangerous to be in the monster armies. The armies are so full of monsters. It's like going into the army with just a toothpick as your weapon. And let's say your toothpick is very big, but at the same time, you're still in danger of getting killed by your own team. Like, if you're not careful, if you're an orc and you get too close to one of these guys, these things are known for attacking orcs randomly out of anger, blind rage. These things suffer from really bad rage problems and will kill anything, even the orcs. So, if you're an orc in the battlefield, don't go near this guy. He may be on your side, but he ain't an ally. Just saying, he ain't really a trustworthy ally. And of course, here are the leaders of the monster armies. Three of them are queens. One of them is a king. And they all live for only one thing: destroy all of humanity. So sadly, in this world, you can't be a pacifist. You can't be running around in a green suit, holding a cane, thinking you're going to be allowed to survive without fighting in the war, because in the end, this is what would happen to you. You would be dead. Peacefulness in this world dies. Oh well. Well, maybe next time maybe next time for little acorn head boy, he'll make friends. Who knows? He should have known better than to try to make friends with the monsters. Sorry, the lighting is bad. I literally got to use this flashlight in my hand just to do this proper. Because the lighting in here is like... I got an idea. Give me a second. Nope, not even that is working. Anyways, yeah. Oh, I got one. I got an idea for everyone in the chat. Guys, I got a challenge for all of you. Upcoming, I want you all to start building armies of monsters. This is an idea I've been thinking of. A monster army contest. Build an army of nothing but monsters. It can be any type of monster you can imagine. Any monster you know of that you can get a bunch of. Pick it. And that'll be your entry. Will be an army of one kind of monster. Rule number 1 has to be an army of some sort of monster. Rule number 2, doesn't have to be 100% Lego. Because I know there's custom parts and pieces that you can upgrade a monster army. You can literally make an army of rock monsters, and it'd be a valid entry. Rule number 2, entry actually has to be at least 5 monsters at least. you have to at least have 5 monsters in your army. That's rule number 2. Can't consist of, I mean, it can consist of 4 or 3, but now you can also just enter a leader type monster as well. That's one rule. You can go ahead and just enter a leader into your army as your entry. That's another thing. You could enter a leader. You know what? May not be a good idea though. But who knows? I really don't know. You guys think, and if you can think of any ideas for a contest, let me know. Of course, I'd have to fix up some ideas for a prize. I don't even know of anything. Oh well, I'm tired. Thinking of building stuff. I can't even think of anything I want to build. I should kind of, you know what? While I'm waiting on, yeah, they do have massive jaw lines. Caleb, I need to fix some of this foliage back here. Ah, oh boy. Give me a second. I gotta fix this. All right, we gotta keep adding. Let's clean up some of this mess here. Okay, you have a good rest of your day. I'm just going to work on this. I better end the stream anyways. So, you all have a nice weekend. Bye.